Magandang araw mga bata! Ready na ba kayo for another exciting learning journey? Today, let's dive into a lesson that might seem simple but is super important. Capitalization! Yes, those big letters at the beginning of certain words. Do you know why they're used? Just imagine writing a news story that starts with That doesn't look right, di ba? Let's fix that today and become capitalization masters. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define capitalization and its purpose in writing, identify the correct use of capital letters in various contexts, and apply capitalization rules when writing sentences and short articles.
What is capitalization? Capitalization means writing the first letter of a word in uppercase to show that it's important. It helps us to know when a new sentence begins, to recognize names, places, and titles, to show respect and clarity, and it helps us to follow correct grammar.
Okay, kids, are you ready? Here's capitalization rule number 1. Always start a sentence with a capital letter. Bakit? Because that's how we show a new thought or idea is beginning. Examples: Filipinos value bayanihan in times of disaster. The Taal volcano erupted and reminded us of nature's power. Jose Rizal is considered our national hero. So these 3 sentences start with a capital letter. Imagine you're writing a news article and you forget to capitalize the first word. Look at the sentence. Something's not right. It doesn't look professional and it clearly breaks our rule. To correct this, the first letter of the sentence should be capitalized, right, kids? Good!
Now let's go to rule number 2. Capitalize proper nouns. These are specific names of people, places, things, and organizations. Examples: names of people, that's easy, like Mark, David, Sophia. Just like your names, class. Now imagine writing your name with a small letter. Oy naku, that doesn't look right. Always start it with a big capital letter, okay? Now, class, can you name a place you've been to? Maybe Boracay? Luneta Park? Sunstar Mall? Those are names of specific places, so we always start them with a capital letter. Look here. Uh-oh, still doesn't look right, does it? What should be capitalized? Correct. The first letter of Baguio City should be capitalized because it is a place. Next, we go to names of things. Not your bag or pencil, huh? I mean special titles of songs, books, or events. Like Lupang Hinirang, our national anthem. Or Buwan ng Wika, which we celebrate every August. Here's a wrong sentence. We sang Lupang Hinirang during the flag ceremony. We need to fix that. How should it look? Yes, we sang Lupang Hinirang during the flag ceremony. Good job! Now let's talk about organizations. Those big groups or offices that help run the country. Like Department of Education, or Philippine Red Cross, or even Girl Scout of the Philippines. All proper nouns because they are the official names of groups. Here's a tricky one. The Department of Education gave us new learning materials. Oops, what needs to be fixed? Right again. It should be the Department of Education gave us new learning materials. So remember, kids, always capitalize the full name of an organization. All right, class, we're on a roll. Let's move on to something we see on our calendars every day. Days, months, holidays, and special events. And this is our rule number 3.
Let's start with the days of the week. Say these with me, and remember, they all begin with capital letters. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Next up, the months of the year. You already know these, but let's double check if we're capitalizing them right. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Now here comes the fun part. Holidays and special events. These are extra special, so we give them capital letters too. Examples: Bonifacio Day, Independence Day, Christmas, Labor Day, and even Nutrition Month, since they're proper names of events.
Going back to our sentence, what should be capitalized here? Yes, National Heroes Day should be capitalized because it is a holiday. And guess what? Walang pasok yan, right?
Okay, class, enough with walang pasok. Now, let's talk about seasons. In other countries, they have spring, summer, autumn, and winter. But here in the Philippines, we usually say dry season and wet or rainy season. Here's the rule: we do not capitalize the names of seasons unless they are part of a proper name or title. All right, class, let's play Spot the Correct Sentence. Ready? Look at these examples. Which one is correct? Yes, number 2 is correct. Why? Because here, dry season is just describing the time of year. It's not a proper name or title. Now, look at the next set. Which one is correct? Number 1? Nope, it's only talking about the season, so it shouldn't be capitalized. That makes number 2 correct. What about number 3? Yes, correct again. This time, it's part of an official name or title, so we capitalize it. And finally, number 4. What do you think, kids? Yes, it's correct too, because it's the proper name of an event. So, remember, if you're just saying the season's name, don't capitalize it. But if it's part of a real event or official title, capitalize away.
Class, imagine this. You're writing in your diary, "Today I ate the biggest burger in the cafeteria and I won the eating contest." Now, I see 2 problems here. First, you forgot to take a picture for proof. And second, you forgot to capitalize the most important person in your story, you. Whenever you write the word I, whether you're talking about eating burgers, playing Mobile Legends, or accidentally stepping on your classmate's foot, you must always capitalize it. Why? Because you are important. And also, rule number 4 says so. Here are some examples. When I saw the flag-raising ceremony, I felt proud. I believe that Filipino values should be preserved. I want to inspire readers through my articles.
All right, class, here's rule number 5. When we write titles of people together with their names, we must capitalize them. For example, President Ferdinand Marcos, Governor Sol Aragones, Teacher Ava Beatrix. All those important words and titles start with capital letters. Why? Because a title is part of their name, like a badge of respect. But here's the twist. If the title is not used with the name, we don't capitalize it. For example, the president will speak tomorrow. See? No name, so no capital letter for president. Let's try some more. Aragones, the governor of our province, attended the fiesta. My teacher is very kind and patient. So class, whether it's president, mayor, or teacher, it gets a big letter only when it's part of someone's name.
Okay, class, let's go to rule number 6, capitalizing initials, initialisms, and acronyms. That sounds like a mouthful, but don't worry, we'll make it as easy as eating halo-halo on a hot day. What are initials? Initials are the first letters of a person's name. For example, J. Kinney, the author of Diary of a Wimpy Kids, J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, or here in class, maybe your MLS for Maria Luis Sandoval. We always capitalize each letter in initials and don't forget the periods. What are initialisms? Initialisms are like initials, but for groups or organizations. We say each letter separately. Examples: PNP, Philippine National Police; DOH, Department of Health; PTA, Parent Teacher Association. We capitalize all the letters in initialisms. What are acronyms? Acronyms are formed from the first letters of words, but we read them as a single word, not letter by letter. Examples: TESTA, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority; DepEd, Department of Education; EDSA, Epifanio de los Santos Avenue. Most acronyms are written in all caps, but some, like DepEd, mix upper and lower case, so always follow the official spelling.
All right, class, next rule. This one is about showing respect, not just to people, but also to their identity, their language, and their beliefs. Whenever we write nationalities, languages, and religions, we always start them with a capital letter. It's like giving them a little crown in our sentences. Examples for nationalities: Filipino, Japanese, Korean, Italian. For languages, Tagalog, English, Mandarin, French. And for religions, Catholic, Buddhism, Christian, Islam. Let's use them in a sentence. I am Filipino and proud of it. We speak English and Filipino at school. My friend celebrates Christian traditions. Why do we capitalize them? Because they are proper nouns, names that refer to specific people, cultures, languages, or belief systems. And proper nouns deserve proper respect. Pero class, be careful. We don't capitalize the word if it's just describing the food or style unless it's part of the proper name. Example: I love Filipino food. This is correct because Filipino is a nationality, so it's capitalized. I love French fries. Here, French just means the style of cutting the fries, not the country, so it should not be capitalized. See, even fries need grammar rules. All right, class, here's another important capitalization rule. Capitalize the first word in a quotation. A quotation means we are writing exactly what someone says, and we put it inside quotation marks. It doesn't matter if that quotation is in the middle of a sentence. Remember this: if the quotation is a complete sentence, the first word must be capitalized. If the quotation is only part of a sentence, do not capitalize it unless it's a proper noun. Let's read this short story together. While we're reading, pay attention to the words inside the quotation marks. It was Nutrition Month at San Juan Elementary School. The stage was filled with fruits and vegetables for the program. Eat healthy every day, reminded Teacher Lorna. Yes, ma'am, we'll eat more vegetables, replied Carlo. Maya whispered to her seatmate that the fruit salad looked so delicious. When the program began, the principal announced, "Let us thank our parents for their support." "Thank you, parents," the students shouted together. Let's look at our first quotation. Eat healthy every day. The first word is capitalized because it's the beginning of a complete sentence. Yes, ma'am, we'll eat more vegetables. Also a complete sentence, so the first word is capitalized. Now here's something different. The fruit salad looks so delicious. Here, the is not capitalized because it's only part of the sentence in the narration. This is called a partial quotation. Let us thank our parents for their support. Capitalized again because it's a complete sentence. And finally, thank you, parents. Also capitalized, another complete sentence.
All right, kids, now it's your turn. I will read some sentences with quotations. Your job is to tell me if the first word inside the quotation should be capitalized or not capitalized. Let's start. Ben said, I love playing basketball. Yes, capitalized. Anna whispered that the music is too loud. Good, not capitalized. Be careful when crossing the street, reminded Nanay. Yes, capitalized. Very good, class. Remember, if the quotation is a complete sentence, capitalize the first word. If it's only part of the sentence, keep it lowercase.
Okay, class. Wow, we're already at rule number 9. Clap for yourselves. That means you've been learning and paying attention all this time. But don't get sleepy yet, because this next rule is a little like the last one we learned. Except now, it's got 2 eyes staring at you. What? 2 eyes? Yes. Look at this. That's a colon. And no, not the part of your stomach. We're talking about punctuation. And just like with quotations, we don't always capitalize the first word after a colon, only when it's necessary. So, we still have to think carefully before adding that capital letter. The rule says, capitalize the first word after a colon if it begins a complete sentence. But if the colon is followed by a phrase or a list, you don't capitalize it. Example where we capitalize. We have one goal for our Nutrition Month project. Everyone should eat at least one vegetable every meal. Here, the words after the colon form a complete sentence. So the first word, everyone, is capitalized. Example where we do not capitalize. Our group needs these items for the cooking contest: carrots, cabbage, and squash. This is not a complete sentence after the colon. It's just a list. So carrot is not capitalized. Let's practice together. Capitalize after the colon. My grandfather always reminds me of this. Hard work brings success. We learned something valuable from the field trip. History is alive when you see it in real life. Do not capitalize after the colon. I bought the following fruits from the market: mangoes, bananas, and papayas. Here are my favorite subjects: algebra, physics, and arts. You see the difference, class? Good. Now, let's see if you can do it on your own. I'll give you 5 sentences with colons. Decide whether the word after the colon should be capitalized or not. Write your answer in your notebook, and then we'll check together. All right, class, we've reached our last capitalization rule for today. You've done a great job so far. Now, this one is fun because it's all about titles, like titles of books, stories, songs, movies, and even artworks. The rule is capitalize the first and last word of a title and all the important words in between. We keep small words like a, an, the, in, on, of, and lowercase unless they are the first or last word in the title. Let's try some examples together. The Adventures of Juan Tamad. Capital T for the, A for adventures, and J for Juan,
T for tamad.
because they're important words. Of stays lowercase because it's a short connecting word. Bahay kubo. Both words get capitalized because they're important. Beauty and the Beast. B for beauty, lowercase for and the because they are connectors. And B for beast. The Legend of Maria Makiling. Same pattern. Capital T for the, L for legend, lowercase of, and capitals for proper nouns, Maria Makiling. So class, the key here is to respect the important words in a title, just like we respect people's names. Okay class, let's practice capitalizing titles of books, songs, stories, and other works. Below are Filipino book, song, or movie titles written with incorrect capitalization. Rewrite them correctly according to the rules for capitalizing titles of works. Great job, class! We are now done with our lesson on capitalization. Before we end, let's quickly summarize the rules we learned today. Remember, we capitalize first word of every sentence, proper nouns, days, months, holidays and events, I, when referring to yourself, titles of people when used with names, initials, initialisms, and acronyms, nationalities, languages, and religions. First word in a quotation, first word after a colon when necessary, and titles of works. These are our 10 golden rules of capitalization. Keep them in mind every time you write. Now, to test how well you understood, I'll leave you with a few activities. Read each sentence carefully. Rewrite it with the correct capitalization. Let's see if you can apply everything we learned today. Class, we've finally reached the end of our lesson on capitalization. Today, we reviewed 10 important rules. These rules are not just about grammar. They are about showing respect, order, and discipline in our writing. When we capitalize correctly, we give importance to people, places, events, and even to ourselves. Just like in real life, showing respect through our words is a reflection of our values as Filipinos. Paggalang, disiplina, at pagmamahal sa wika at bayan. So let's carry this learning not just in English class, but in all the things we do. Write with respect, speak with confidence, and live with discipline.